and you'll win. And here we are at the second part of this level. We're almost done with the tutorial world. Same bad guys, not really any new ones. Oh, you jerk. How dare you shoot your crossbow at me. Luckily for us, for everyone out there, if you play Dark Souls 2, and I'm going to talk about this for a little bit. If you played Dark Souls 2 before, you'll know that it's an easy game. But that's not the point I'm trying to bring up. Archers, enemy archers in Dark Souls 2 were so well programmed. I don't care what anyone says. Archers in Dark Souls 2 know exactly what you're about to do when you do it. Because if I'm pretty sure people out there who play Dark Souls 2 have seen this at least a couple times. But when archers shoot their arrows, it's like the arrow follows you. And sometimes it does. But when you, like, for example, when I standing here and an archer's about to shoot his arrow and I'm about to move this way to dodge it, his arrow will still hit me in the head even though I moved out of the way. And it's just, they were really good in Dark Souls 2, these archers. And luckily for us, they replaced all the archers with crossbowmen. There will be archers later in the game that use great bows, but all the main archers will have crossbows, which is a lot easier to dodge. They don't have the epic tracking that they had in Dark Souls 2, so that's good for us. Not that good though, because they are still pretty annoying. And let's head in here. And here we are, Firelink Shrine, the main hub of the game. Let's talk to you.
Fire unkindled one. I am a firekeeper. I tend to the flame and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am at thy side. Farewell, Ashen One. May the flames guide thee.
Alright, what else do you have to say to me?
Ashen One. Produce the coiled sword at the bonfire. The mark of ash will guide thee to the land of the lords. To Lothric, where the homes of the lords converge.
Alright, so right here, this is Firekeeper. No special name at all, just a Firekeeper. This girl is the girl you want. This girl right here will level you up.
Then touch the darkness within me. Take nourishment from these sovereignless souls.
I hope you get used to what she said. Touch the darkness inside me. Now, I feel like that's a throwback to Demon Souls, where you talk to there's a lady in Demon Souls like this girl, Maiden of the Dark, I believe, or Maiden of the Black Maiden, something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head. And she's also a level up lady. You talk to her and she levels you up, but she says, touch the darkness inside me. And this one here says, touch the demon inside me. Ooh. And this one says, touch the darkness inside me. So, throwback to Demon Souls, what do you have to say to me?
Ah, another one roused from the sleep of death. Well, you're not alone. We unkindled are worthless. God, what is it now?
Uh-oh. Oh no. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. I didn't mean it. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. I am just gonna hold my controller. I am not gonna push any buttons. Oh, that scared the shit out of me.
And they'd have us seek the lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. But we are talking true legends, with the metal to link the fire. We're not fit to lick their boots. Don't you think?
Oh man, thank God. I I accidentally attacked him. Oh, in the Dark Souls series, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, Dark Souls, you can attack NPCs. Highly recommended you do not attack anything that doesn't attack you back. If there wasn't forgiveness in this game, he would have actually started attacking me and attempting to kill me. Not only that, but in this game, a lot of NPCs are have quest lines, and I want to try and do as many quest lines as possible. And if I become hostile with that NPC, then I won't be able to do the quest line. Quest lines in this game, just as you might think, you could go do the quest line. They're a little bit elaborate, as we'll see here in later parts. But they give you some really cool stuff. Mostly emotes and their own outfits, maybe their weapon and shields as well. But I love doing quest lines in Dark Souls. They always give you some fun, cool shit. And we're gonna talk to you, lady.
A pleasure to make thine acquaintance, Ashen One. I am but a humble handmaid of the shrine. Weapons, armor, trinkets, and spells. I've lots of little things to ease the burden of a weary traveler. And yes, I'm undead too, but not so charitable as to give my goods away. Ashen One, fetch souls and bring them to me. As is thy wont, no?
So the Shrine Handmaid here, again, no special name, just a Shrine Handmaid. Maybe we'll give her a name later, but this is going to be your main shop throughout the game. She starts off here with a few items here, embers, which is really useful items. You want to collect as much of these as possible. This is pretty much the humanity. If you're a Dark Souls fan, this is the humanity, or yeah, this is pretty much the humanity throughout the game. But using an ember, if you're not kindled, will give you 30% more HP, which when we killed the first boss, you saw the message. I don't want to talk to you no more. You saw the message that Ember was restored. That's pretty much what happens. Our health bar is increased by 30%, and we get this cool fire effect from our armor. But that turns on online play, so we're going to be probably experience a lot of invasions and cooperative help. But more on that later when that actually happens. Other stuff here, she has repair powder, which is completely useless. I don't know why anyone would bother. Purple moss clumps cures poison. Fire bombs, which is pretty much a fireball, a pyromancy fireball. But if you pick a pyromancer, you should already have unlimited fire bombs, at least up to the point how big your blue bar is. Prism stones, really important item. I am going to buy 25 prism stones. This item, best item in the game. You will see why here in a little bit, but if you have not been buying prism stones, you need to go back and stock up on prism stones. Best item in the game. I don't care what anyone says. This item has helped me so much. So much, because it's just such a good item. Homeward bones here, not as good as the prism stones, but they're still pretty good. They will return you to the last bonfire you used, or back to Firelink Shrine, which is the main hub of the game. Don't stock up on these now, you'll get a lot as you progress through the game, but just know that you could buy as much as you want, just 500 souls each, but don't buy none right now, that's bad. You want to use your souls for something later. White soapstone sign. This will allow you to be summoned to other worlds for some co-op sessions, and that's good. Highly recommend you buy this for many reasons, but just buy it now, get out of the way just in case you don't forget, so you can have some fun playing with other players. And dried fingers, more on this later. Do not recommend you buy this unless you know what it does and really want to use this effect. But for all you people out there that don't know what it does, no buy. Don't buy, don't touch. This is bad touch. Bad touch. Bad touch. Need an adult. Bad touch. Dried fingers. Touching me. Bad. She has a key here. 20,000 soul key. Really useful item, but we won't be able to get this for quite a while, so we're going to ignore it. She has some spells here. Because I don't have 10 intelligence, though, I can't use soul arrows, so we're going to ignore that for now. Has some cool weapons, some cool shields, but she has a torch here that we want to buy. Recommended you buy from her on your first visit a white sign, soapstone, and a torch, and that's it. Unless you want this armor. These arrows here, we don't have a bow unless you picked the assassin, I believe, or the thief. You will start off with a bow, but because we don't have a bow, we don't need any arrows, so that's kind of pointless, and that's it. So as you progress through the game, you'll start getting items called Umbra Ash, and if you give them to her, she will increase her inventory by a couple items, which is really useful because she starts getting some very awesome items. And here we have probably a very important NPC in any Dark Souls game ever.
Well, a newcomer, I see. I am Andre. I serve at this shrine as a humble smith, forging weapons. You're in search of the Lords of Cinder, I trust. A toilsome journey, I wager. You require good arms. Let me smith you weapons. I am a smith. Such is my purpose.
So, Blacksmith Andre here. Really important. Probably the second important NPC in the game in this one area, other than the Firekeeper that levels you up. Here we will be able to reinforce our weapons, which makes them stronger. But we need 2 Titanite shards to increase it to +1, which will, increase the damage, as you can see in the box to the right. This is very important, and you do not want to neglect this, because if you neglect this, you're going to have a very hard time in later levels, because if we don't keep our weapon up to par, we won't be doing enough damage, but the enemies will, so make sure you don't forget about this. I love how we could upgrade the torch. Just in case you want that +10 torch, which is your main weapon, guys. We could also infuse weapons here, which is I'll get more into later when I actually want to do that. Repairing equipment, this is a little bit different than you might think. Weapons in this game do have durability, but unless they completely break, if that durability hits 0, you cannot repair any equipment unless it's completely broken. And sitting at bonfires will refresh the durability back to full. So as long as you sit down at bonfires, your weapons should not break. We have another useful thing that blacksmiths do in this game is a lot Estus. Now what is this? Well, we could get our total maximum amount of Estus flash charges and put them between the Ashen Estus or our Healing Estus. This is a very cool mechanic. No more grass. No more of that lazy grass to recover your spell charges or your mana bar from Demon Souls. Instead, we have 2 Estus Flask, which is really fun and really cool. I like this idea a lot. But I highly recommend, unless you are going to go hardcore magic at the beginning of the game, get rid of all the charges in your Ashen Estus Flask, which is the blue one, and put them all in your healing one. Because unless you're going hardcore magic, you really don't need that blue Estus Flask for a good while. And we have reinforced Estus Flask, which we don't have the item required to do this, but let's talk to him instead.
Weapons and protection are sturdy enough by and large, but when overused, they'll eventually break. When their durability is low, repair becomes a necessity. Use a powder, or simply rest at a bonfire. But should chance impel them break, bring them me. I'll hammer them back into shape. They take no pleasure in breaking, I assure ye. So handle them with care, if you would. There are two ways to smith weapons. Simple reinforcement is one, and infusion the other. Reinforcement is straightforward. It strengthens a weapon without altering its property. Infusion is a more advanced form of smithing that infuses an element. Reinforcement requires titanite, and infusion requires gems. Bring the stones, and I'll do the smithing. It's my purpose, after all. In battle, your weapons are your only friends. Forge them well, and they won't let you down. Another matter. Infusing weapons with gems requires a special kind of coal. My humble coals won't be any use infusing more unusual gems. I know, it's an awful shame, but it's all I have. Oh, please don't give me that look. Believe it or not, I'm quite thin-skinned. Oh, by the way, if you find any Estus shards, bring them here. They can be used to reinforce either of your Estus flasks. Without those flasks, you'd want for life or focus. And they'll always stay with you. Why not treat them well? Huh? Prithee, be careful. I don't want to see my work squandered.
So really talking with him, he just tells you what he does or gives you a hint on what he does and you have to figure out the rest yourself. But he gives you an emote. He gives you the hurrah emote. And that's a pretty cool emote. Like, yeah, we did it, guys. Wow! Pretty cool, pretty cool. But believe it or not, that's pretty much all we could do in Firelink Shrine. I know, really sad, but once you've done all the stuff here that I pretty much done, unless I did miss something. Actually, I did miss something. I'm gonna go do that right now, but when you're done and you want to continue on with the game, put your coil sword into here and you made a bonfire. Probably the most useful bonfire in the game. But before we end this session off, and please don't get, you know what? I gotta check something real quick. Is he gonna be standing up for the rest of this playthrough?
What asking us just to talk.
It looks like he's still friendly with me, so that's a good sign. Once again, I hope I don't fuck anything up. But there's one more thing we could do. If we head up here and head out here, you can see that there's a giant from Dark Souls 2 here. Whoa! It's this giant thing that leads us to the past in Dark Souls 2 once you have the King's Ring. Cool, cool. Doesn't do anything yet, but it does give you a very useful item, which I really like indeed. But coming up here, we get another item, a Soul of the Deserter, and that's it. We can't go in here yet. But let me tell you something. Inside this tower, there's a lot of useful treasure in this tower. Let me tell you something. This is going to be a very fun tower to explore and collect all of its goodies. But for now, we've completed everything we could do in Firelink Shrine. Ignore all these blood spots. They're just people committing suicide for fun or attacking this dude until he becomes hostile. I don't know if he does become hostile though, but who knows. And with that, I say we end off the session of Dark Souls here, because in the next part, or in the next session I'm going to be doing, I'm recording these in sessions, we are going to go and begin the first real level of this game, where things will get pretty difficult. Not too difficult, but Dark Souls level difficult. So thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you did, and come back for the next session. See you guys then.